Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the GLP-1 Support Squad, Body, Mind, and Spirit. My name's Kara. Oops. My name's Karen Marsh. Okay, now it's out. Everyone knows. Okay, whatever. It's Kara Mars on social media, only because I was a celebrity personal assistant for a long time. But now my who I'm celebrity personal assisting doesn't care. So you can call me either way. Just call me, right? Anyway, hi. Welcome to another episode. I'm here with the amazing Chris Ferraro, energy healer, best-selling author, and the amazing Alyssa from Shore Holistic Nutrition and Wellness, who's also my personal holistic nutritionist nurse advisor, and Chris, who's my personal energy healer. I'm so blessed and full of gratitude to have these two amazing women in my life, and you should feel like lucky too, because they're hot commodities. So we were just chatting before we became live, and I'm like, I don't know what to talk about. I'm doing okay. I'm not doing amazing. I have not gotten on the scale since February 1st because I was traveling in Guatemala and I felt like I'd probably put some weight on. I had not been to the gym. My clothes were feeling a little bit tighter, and I didn't want to have that negative connotation by seeing the number. Like, the number doesn't really have any meaning, right? It's what we apply that meaning to. And I didn't want to apply a meaning to a number on the scale. So what I've been doing, and March, this month is crazy. There's full moons, there's lunar eclipse, there's Jupiter in retrograde, Mercury in retrograde. All the astrologers were saying, "Oh, you thought January was bad? Huh? You thought February was bad? Huh?" They're like, "March, hold on." So I heard that, and then I was actually watching. It was like a 30-minute presentation on why the different planets were doing what day, and I stopped. I'm like, it doesn't matter. All I need to know is just be gentle with myself. Just so I feel like I'm doing great. I'm eating clean. I'm working out again. I'm taking my supplements. I'm doing baby steps to get back to the journey that I was on before, when I was super, super focused. And then I also realized I don't need to be super, super focused. I just need to follow my program, right? Like, take my supplements, go to the gym, eat clean, and eventually the weight was going to come off. But then it's like, what happens if it doesn't, right? What happens when I get on that scale and I've been great for a month and nothing happened, right? Like, I didn't lose a power, or maybe who knows, right? But my clothes are not getting looser or whatever. So we have Chris and Alyssa here to tell us, or to explain to us, or help us when we are also going through that. So Chris, why don't you take it away and explain what we're going to talk about and why, and what we're going to tap on.
Well, I was sharing before we jumped on the recording about I also got off track around the same time that you did, Karen, and then have pulled myself back and have done a really great job. Like, I'm so proud of myself for how well that I'm doing. My trainer said to me, "How much protein are you doing and how many calories? How is that possible?" He did not believe that I could be packing on the protein the way that I am and staying within my calorie limit, which is 1,600 to 2,000 calories. And usually it's around 16, 1,700. And so he said, well, send me a screenshot of what you're eating. And I had stopped doing the writing, putting everything in the app. And I thought, you know what? Maybe I'm not right. And so I started putting everything back in the app, and I was like, no, I am doing exactly what I thought that I was doing. And I sent him the screenshots, and he said, do you mind if I share these with some of my clients? I said, knock yourself out. So it was really, that was a real feeling of success. I was like, look at me, I'm even surprised in my trainer. And my exercise has been fantastic, and I've been having some back pain, and so, I said to him, "I need to do ab core stuff without getting on the floor," and he showed me several things that I could do, and I have really integrated it into my workout regimen, and I feel myself having my shoulders back, and I'm walking. I used to lean sometimes forward as I was walking, and now I'm walking taller and straighter. Already in a short period of time, I'm feeling that. And then yesterday is my weigh-in with my buddy, and I got on the scale, and it was exactly the same number, not even a point something less. And I thought, what the heck? I'm doing all the right things, or I feel like I'm doing all of the right things. And logically, I know that muscle weighs more than fat. I know that we go through plateaus, but I just feel like I've been plateauing out for way too long. And I just want to see it move. But I also know that I have so many bad associations with the scale. I have so many bad associations with doing weigh-ins as a young child, having my weight posted on the refrigerator as a young child for the entire family to see, going to the school nurse and having weigh-ins and reactions that the school nurse would have. So this is like lifelong bad reactions to the scale. And it wasn't even a huge reaction, but it was enough of seriously to bring up that kind of feeling. So I thought that other people could probably relate to that, to this marathon that we're on that's not a sprint, and the 2 steps forward, 1.5 step back, 2 steps forward, one back, that it's not a straight line. And so I thought if we did some tapping on that, it could be beneficial for everybody out there.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So, Karen, you're going to be my echo voice?
I'll be your echo.
Okay. All right. So, we're going to start as always on the side of the hand. So, even though I'm trying my best,
Even though I'm trying my best,
I'm really doing the best that I can on this shedding weight journey.
I'm really doing the best I can on this shedding weight journey.
There's some times where it just feels like it's not working,
There's sometimes when it just feels like it's not working,
and I get frustrated
and I get frustrated
and can feel defeated.
and can feel defeated.
For just right now,
For just right now,
I'm remembering that healing is not a straight line,
I'm remembering that healing is not a straight line,
that my body is adapting to these changes,
that my body is adapting to these changes,
and that I am so much more than a number on a scale.
and I'm so much more than a number on the scale.
Even though I've been feeling frustrated,
Even though I've been feeling frustrated,
I really feel like I'm doing a good job most of the time.
I really feel like I'm doing a good job most of the time.
But this shedding weight journey
But this shedding weight journey
feels like it's a lot of effort to shed it,
feels like it's a lot of effort to shed it,
and it can come back on so easily.
and it can come back on so easily.
For just right now,
For just right now,
I'm choosing to let this go,
I'm choosing to let this go,
to be really kind and loving to myself and my body,
to be really kind and loving to my body,
and to remember
and to remember
I'm more than a number on a scale.
I'm more than a number on the scale.
Even though sometimes I get discouraged,
Even though sometimes I get discouraged,
the scale isn't showing me what I think it should.
the scale isn't showing me what I think it should,
And I'm really doing my best
and I'm really doing my best
for just right now.
for just right now.
I'm letting go of the frustration and disappointment.
I'm letting go of the frustration and disappointment.
I'm remembering that this is a lifelong journey.
I'm remembering this is a lifelong journey.
I'm celebrating my successes
I'm celebrating my successes
and recognizing I'm so much more than a number on a scale.
and recognizing I'm so much more than a number on the scale.
Okay. And for everybody out there, as we move on to the body points, you might think about maybe this doesn't exactly resonate, but you may have some area of your life where you feel like you're trying your best and it's not paying off the way that you think it should. And so you can bring that to mind as you tap along with us. Okay. So we're going to come up to the beginning of the eyebrows. All this frustration.
All this frustration,
Good. Side of the eye. All this frustration.
all this frustration.
I really am trying my best.
I really am trying my best.
Under the eyes. And this isn't easy.
And this isn't easy.
Under the nose. I'm trying so hard.
I'm trying so hard.
Chin. And then I get on the scale
And then I get on the scale
and I think, seriously?
and I think, seriously,
This isn't what I thought it was going to say.
this isn't what I thought it was going to say.
Collarbone. Sometimes it can be really confusing
Sometimes it can be really confusing
when you feel like you're doing all the right things
when you feel like you're doing all the right things
and you don't have evidence yet that it's paying off.
and you don't have evidence yet that it's paying off.
Ooh, I'm really yawning on this. You can tell it's very real for me. Um, Under the arms. This is really hard.
This is really hard.
Top of the head. It doesn't take much to put on weight.
It doesn't take much to put on weight,
Beginning of the eyebrows, and it requires so much more effort to shed it.
and it requires so much more effort to shed it.
Side of the eye, and I'm counting my protein grams.
And I'm counting my protein grams.
Under the eyes, I'm counting my calories.
I'm counting my calories.
Under the nose, I'm clean eating.
I'm clean eating,
Chin exercising.
exercising,
Collarbone moving my body.
moving my body,
Even when I feel tired or in pain.
even when I feel tired or in pain.
Under the arms, I really am doing the best that I can.
I'm really am doing the best that I can.
Top of the head, and it's easy to get discouraged.
And it's easy to get discouraged.
Beginning the eyebrows when I step on the scale
When I step on the scale
and it doesn't say what I think it should.
and it doesn't say what I think it should,
Side of the eye, I was looking for reinforcement.
I was looking for reinforcement.
I was looking for an atta girl.
I was looking for an atta girl,
And my scale said, nope, not this week.
and my scale said, nope, not this week. Mm-mm.
Yeah. And I really am doing my best.
And I really am doing my best.
Under the nose. So I'm clearing the frustration.
I'm clearing the frustration.
Chin, I refuse to take this out on my body.
I refuse to take this out on my body.
My body's been doing great.
My body's been doing great.
Collarbone. I really am doing my best.
I really am doing my best.
Under the arms, and I'm not a number on a scale.
And I'm not a number on a scale.
Top of the head for just right now.
For just right now,
I'm letting go of my scale PTSD
I'm letting go of my scale PTSD
and remembering who I really am.
and remembering who I really am.
Beginning in the eyebrows, I am a powerful person.
I'm a powerful person.
Yep. Side of the eye, my body is designed to heal itself.
My body is designed to heal itself.
Under the eyes, my body and I are working really well together.
My body and I are working really well together.
Under the nose, I am embodying patience.
I am embodying patience.
Chin, I am embodying grace.
I am embodying grace.
Collarbone, I am choosing to love myself and my body.
I am choosing to love myself
And my body.
and my body,
Yeah. No matter what it says on the scale.
no matter what it says on the scale.
I really am doing my best.
I really am doing my best.
And my best is good enough.
And my best is good enough.
Top of the head. I'm not here to be perfect.
I'm not here to be perfect.
I'm here to be whole.
I'm here to be whole.
And I am embracing the wholeness of who I am.
And I'm embracing the wholeness of who I am
And trusting that everything is unfolding
and trusting that everything is unfolding
in perfect order now.
in perfect order now.
I'm loving myself no matter what.
I'm loving myself no matter what.
And that's the truth.
And that's the truth.
Okay, let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Blow it out. Good work, everybody.
Wow, that was good. I have some kind of back something going like in my where my angel wings are. Like because I'm an angel. And every time I went to yawn, I'm like, oh, so it's very funny. So if you guys heard me screeching a little bit.
You're like, yeah, well, can't yawn that big, buddy.
Like,
All right,
ow!
not today.
Release just a little. Okay, a little bit at a time. So yeah, that was amazing. Thank you, Chris. Oh my gosh. So Alyssa, what's going on in our bodies when we're doing all the right things and we're not seeing any results, or what's happening there?
Yeah, so actually I just want to, before I get into that, I want to touch on this like astrology thing. And like if you're very into that, like we can get stuck on it, right? And make a story, right? It's like, oh, well, like I can't do that because this is going on, or like getting into like a negative feedback loop because blaming it on astrology. And like, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's good to like know the energy and like what's going on, but also take it with a grain of salt and like not make excuses because of that, like, yeah, I think it's really important to I go a lot on TikTok and I see all the things people like, this is what you should do and not do and blah blah blah, but it also can create like these stories in your head, and then say you get like on a negative thing and then you keep it going because you're just like, well, Mercury's in retrograde, so I might as well just keep going, right? And that's not a good thing to do. So take it with a grain of salt. If you want to listen to it, great. If you feel like, sometimes I feel like those things are like toxic for me because I will get into that negative feedback. I'll be like, well, this is happening, so I guess I shouldn't do this. So, maybe unsubscribe from those things if you feel like you're one of those people.
Well, I just have to one comment. Mercury in retrograde, you don't buy a house.
I think we learned from that.
Mercury
Okay.
retrograde is the real deal. And I totally agree with you, Alyssa. I literally had a client the other day who's dating a new person say, this is great, this is great, this is great, this is great, but they're a Gemini. And I was like, are you kidding me? Please. Well, I read that's not, I was like, you need to throw that aside and you need to go forward and see what's
right,
really there.
Right, exactly. You don't give it all the meaning. Just keep it in the back of the head. Go, yeah, it just is what it is. It's just a piece of knowledge that we have. But you're right. But that's why I didn't watch the whole video. So it's like, I'm not going there. I don't want to know what dates are bad and what date the world's going to end and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to know. Right. Because it's not going to happen. So, all right, Alyssa. All right. I'm sorry. I'm back.
No, yeah.
You're back.
I get into that too, right? I'll be like, not necessarily with my health, but just like with business things. So, yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. And then, so I know I just want to talk on like a few little things about, like plateaus, right? Plateaus with our weight. And I've talked about this before, right? I feel like I talk about similar things, but some of my favorite things to do if you hit a plateau, right, is simple things. So number one is focus on your steps, right? So not necessarily working out, but getting steps in. This is honestly the biggest weight loss hack, is focusing on like 10,000 is even a little bit low, but like a 12,000 to 15,000 steps a day is life-changing. Okay. Even if you like, I know people who have literally didn't even change their diet. They just did that and weight is coming off. So getting the steps in, because also walking is really good for your blood sugar. So doing that, like now that it's getting warmer out here in the East Coast, if you're on the West Coast or the South, maybe you've been still doing this, but going for a walk after a meal is one of the best hacks for your blood sugar and for weight loss. So even doing like a few walks a day would be more beneficial than just doing like one long walk. Another thing is doing squats. I talked about this before because I think you guys were like, I'm not doing squats, but doing like 30 to 40 squats after you eat is another amazing hack for like if you're a plateau, or even if you ever track your blood sugar, it's good to like track your blood sugar, have an idea of what your blood sugar is doing. It helps to lower your blood sugar. So your glucose will be stored in your thighs. So it really helps to get that glucose out of there. So that's a really good hack for weight loss and just like blood sugar. And then also fasting. I've talked about this many times. Fasting is an amazing way to help you get through a plateau. You can do 24-hour, 36, whatever. Actually have a fasting guide. So we'll put it in the caption, so you can check out the fasting guide. It talks about like the different benefits of it, like the different times, supplements that I take when I am fasting, things like that. So I'll link that in the comments. And And then, yeah, so when we get into a plateau, right, we're like, oh, nothing's happening. Like, is this even worth it? Why am I putting all this effort in? But, right, the stuff is going on the inside, right? Like, we don't always see a result right away. And this is why consistency is so important with anything that we do, right? I mean, even if you're learning a new skill, right, it's like frustrating, but eventually you're going to get to that goal. So, we might not be seeing the results like on a scale, or, maybe we're not seeing things in the mirror that we want to be seeing, but this is happening on a cellular level on the inside. So as we get older, a lot of times we're not going to see such a quick result, right? As our bodies are changing, right? Aging might take a little bit longer, but it's all about that consistency, even when you're not seeing a specific result, whether it be on the scale or, with my patients who are healing, right? Healing is an internal thing. And it takes 90 days for your cells to change. So your cells die about every 90 days. So 90 days, like, you should be consistent for at least 90 days to see a change, right? Some people, they even say that in like gym at the I watch like a lot of gym motivation stuff, and it's like, in 4 weeks you'll feel different, right? In, I don't know, whatever, it's like 8 weeks you'll look different, and then like in 3 months or so, like other people will start to be like, oh, like, what are you doing, like, you look so different, kind of thing. So 3 months, that's when your cells start changing, and your cells, like, old cells are dying, right? Like the ones that are diseased and damaged. And then if you're obviously like eating healthy and all this stuff, you're going to create new healthier cells at that 90-day mark. So keep it going. And then also to mention, it takes 30 years of disease for one symptom to ever show up in your body, right? So like that person that has a heart attack, right? They weren't healthy the day before they had a heart attack. They were sick and diseased, but their first symptom of heart disease was their heart attack, right? Same thing with cancer, right? Like, cancer just doesn't happen overnight. This is 30 years of toxic disease in our body to create cancer, right? There's certain things obviously that we do, like lifestyle, that will make it worse, right? That can accelerate it. Or I was like negative thoughts, and that's a whole nother conversation. But there's things that we can do that will speed up the process. But in general, it takes 30 years of disease for one symptom to show up. So, if you have symptoms, if you were like, oh, well, I had symptoms like as a child, well, that means that your parent, your mom who carried you, had 30 years of disease, and that passed to you. And now you have that disease, diseased toxic cells in your body. So yeah, when you're on a healing journey, you're like, oh, it's not working fast enough, like, da-da-da. But you need to remember, like, it took 30 years of disease to get where we are today. So, it's not going to take 30 years to heal yourself or get where you want to go, but you need to make sure you stay consistent, because the changes are happening on the inside on a cellular level, and some of us are not going to see results right away. And then also, as Chris already mentioned, is that so muscle is going to weigh more than fat, right? So if we're going to the gym, we're exercising, it's important that we are having some kind of measurement to differentiate, right? So one thing you can do, at gyms, they have this thing called an in-body scan, which is a really great thing. And that will actually track. So you hold it. It's like you hold it, and it will track how much muscle mass you have. It tracks also your body fat percentage, so that you have an idea. So Chris, I don't know if your gym has that, but if they do, oh, okay. It's good to have that done. Like, I wouldn't do it that often, but it's good to have that done so you can see, like, oh, actually, like, maybe I am the same weight, but look how much more muscle mass I have. And the more muscle mass you have, the more your basal metabolic rate will be, right? So you need to like eat actually more calories to maintain the muscle as opposed to fat. So that is one thing I wanted to say. Those InBody scales are amazing. It's most a lot of gyms I feel like have them. And then the other thing is to actually take measurements of your body, right? So taking arm measurements, taking measurements of your waist, your hips, even your neck circumference is another a really great measurement, because we hold a lot of inflammation here in our neck. Right. So taking these measurements and then checking them, obviously not every day, but checking them periodically so that you can track, if you're a woman or even a man, your chest. And if you feel like the scale is not moving, check and see like, oh, well, my scale's not moving, but I actually lost 2 inches. So it's another really great tool to be checking as opposed to just the number on the scale, because our weight will fluctuate, right? Like if I was taking my weight first thing in the morning and then I take it again at night, I could fluctuate 6 pounds, and then I'd be like, oh, what did I do? Yeah, my weight will fluctuate a lot during the day. So the best time to take your weight really is first thing in the morning before you put anything into your body. That's like the most accurate weight. So before you brush your teeth, obviously go to the bathroom. But yeah, that would be like the most optimal time. And you should always be taking it on like the same scale, because scales will differ. So definitely want to make sure you're taking it on the scale. But personally, like I've had a on and off relationship with the scale in my life. So I usually like to go by like how I feel like my clothes is fitting, how I feel in my body. That's yeah. So I'm not like crazy about, oh, go on the scale, but how is your clothes fitting? Is it loose? How are you feeling about yourself? How's your energy? Like there's other factors besides just a number on a scale. So
Yeah, it's interesting, Alyssa, because I never did my measurements before. First of all, it's hard for me to do my measurements. I'm single, I live alone, trying to get this around my arm and hold it. So I found this thing called Renpho, Renpho, and I have the scale, and the scale actually does your body fat and your muscle mass as well. And you get it on your phone, and then it tells you like the next week if you're down, it like sings if you lose weight or something. I don't know what it does, but whatever. But the Renpho, I didn't even know how to use it for the first year until I saw it on TikTok. And so I'm like, oh, that's what that little clip. So it's got this little clip that goes in, and you can it's a circle, and you can just slide it, and then you click the thing and it tightens, and then it tells you what your measurement is. But interesting enough, when I was doing that 8-week body transformation program with the all natural GLP-1 and stuff, my total weight loss was 22 pounds in 8 weeks, which is phenomenal, right? But interesting, the best was I lost 26 inches, like 26 inches. And I only knew that because they made us do our inches. But let's see, how much is 26? That's this much. That's this much. Look at that off the body, right? That's amazing. That's like a small toddler, like, you're right. And then body fat, I lost 6.4 pounds, but muscle mass, I gained 9.6 pounds, right? So that's why, I mean, yeah, 22 pounds is great in 8 weeks, but it's not that great. You know what I mean? It's great, but 26 inches, that's amazing. So I use Renpro. We don't get any money. There's no, I mean, if Renpro wants to send us money, we'll take it. No, just kidding. But you know what I mean? It's just, that's what I personally use, and I really liked it. Yeah, maybe I should go back into that 8-week body transformation and just really like focus.
Yeah.
As soon as the astrology gets better.
I did that too. And actually going to want to go back and look at my measurements to see, yeah, I mean, I did it too, and I loved it. I still take those. I take most of the products anyway.
Yeah, I do too.
But there was just such a great community and support system, and a lot of like education with that program. Yeah, it's really next level.
Yeah. So anyway, so the bottom line is do your measurements.
Yeah.
Because it was that really, really helps me. Like I did them like 3 times because I didn't believe it. And I like added it up. I'm like, what? Really? Really? Wow. So yeah. And that's probably why I dropped 2 sizes, right? That'll make sense.
Yeah, man, look how much, like, that doesn't even fit on the screen how many inches you lost.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Great
So anyway,
info.
I hope this, Chris, do you have any final words?
Yeah, I just want to say that I thought that this was really, really great information, and I had gotten what I think is an intuitive nudge to move every day, like on the non-gym days to go for a walk. Um, I don't know about 12,000 steps in a day, but I just think I need to move every day and walking outside and fresh air and all of that to do that in between my gym days. It was a busy week and I just haven't been able to do that. But the week that I did do that, I felt great. So I just took a bunch of notes from what both of you shared. So thanks for all that good information.
Yeah, and also like walking pads are really amazing for anyone if they like work from home or yeah, walking pads are amazing. If, it's still cold, you can't get outside, but also getting outside, like you're getting vitamin D from the sun, and that is like vitamin D is so healing for our bodies. It's very different than taking a supplement vitamin D. Your body, it's good for cholesterol, like your hormones, which obviously like insulin is a hormone, all of these things. So getting outside is one of the most amazing things you can do for your mood, right? If you're in a bad mood, just go for a walk and go outside, clear your head, and then get back to whatever you're doing. And even if you have kids, like put them in a stroller, you have a dog, take your dog out, like get motivated.
Yep, that's a good thing. And the weather is like getting so nice, and it's such a joy to be outside. Yesterday was a joy to be outside. Today, not so much. Or was it the day before? I don't know. It's all blurred together. But anyway, so thanks you guys for watching. Thank all of you for watching. Please like, follow, subscribe, share with your friends. The more community we have, the more we grow, the more we can get this word out that, this journey, we're not alone. We're all together. And I feel grateful that I have these 2 amazing women here with me, but you also have them. And who else do you know that's sharing? Who else is going through this journey? And it's amazing when you see there was a woman who I'm living in over 55 community, and she's like, I have diabetes. I can't seem to get it down, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I'm reading it going, I'm not going there. I'm like, what are you eating? What processed food are you eating? What? And I'm just like, I can't go there with them. And I wanted to. I'm like, hey, check out our GLP-1 Support Squad. You don't have to be on the GLPs to do it, right? We have a lot of really good information. But I couldn't yet. Because I didn't want to get the backlash, and I don't have time. It's old people, and they're set in their ways, and not all, not some are open. But anyway, so I just wanted to share that. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next week with a brand new topic and brand new excitement. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.